Should Tim Sweeney get his own conspiracy show on A&E?
And should you be Pokestocking in the name of love?
How Cortana might just make you a better person.
And in Soviet Russia, government brainwashes you.
I'm Sam Chen.
And I'm Paul Mooney.
All these stories and more people playing Pokemon Go in a park at midnight. Stick around, you're watching the Nerdy News Roundup.
We begin the show with everyone's favorite console, the Nintendo NX. Eurogamer confirmed the anticipated console will be 100% portable, include detachable controllers, and run on the NVIDIA's Tegra mobile processor. Sam, will this cartridge handheld spell success for Nintendo?
See, I think the real problem with the Nintendo NX is going to come down to its price point. The really only price point I can see it actually competing and winning an area of the console war is if it competes with the 3DS, and that would come in at around a $200 price point. Otherwise, I don't know why I would need a handheld portable console that's bulky and then have a dock at home and then probably have 100 other accessories to make it work the way it should in a regular console.
Well, I completely agree with you. I feel like this is kind of what they did with the Ouya previously, where it's like you can play Android games on a TV, but I can already play Android games on an Android. If I can already play portable games on the 3DS, which is by far the best-selling handheld console, why should I be concerned with playing it on a regular TV at the same time? I feel like not only is Nintendo cannibalizing their own market, but they're also going to be competing against a system that's probably not going to do that well doing both. You want to do one thing well. You don't want to try to do two things kind of half-assed.
Yeah, and I think they're basically trying to envision this old school like LAN party style where four people bring their Nintendo consoles and you're trying to connect over Wi-Fi and you just can't do it.
I don't get it. I think it's a failed enterprise, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans were expecting those rumors about the NX being more powerful than the PS4, at least the original PS4, to be true. And I think we're seeing that that might not be the case.
I don't think it's reality at all.
Cortana is getting a new home as the Xbox One Summer Update has begun to roll out. With a number of quality of life updates, support for background music and Cortana are the biggest additions in the latest update. Paul, with Kinect all but dead, will Cortana make you feel less dumb talking to your console?
I don't think so. I think we're still a ways off before we get to the point where we're in Star Trek world, where talking to the computer is a norm type deal. Talking to Cortana, having it perform better, makes me feel better about doing such, but not so much where I feel like I'm still talking to a box.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is, the issue before was like, you would say to the console, Xbox, watch Netflix, and that would work. But if you said Xbox, Netflix, it'd be like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, that's not a command.
Right.
And I think now it's just trying to get that wider breadth of commands that will work in conjunction with everything else. So in one sense, I actually do think it will just be easier to navigate with your voice commands now than it was before.
Well, I do agree on that point, but at the same time, I have audio from my party chat come through the speakers of my TV and or computer. So if they decide to troll me, which, let's be honest, my friends will, that's going to spell a disaster for me in several different ways.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. I think that's the problem we have with even like Alexa these days. So, but I do think this is a move in the right direction. I think as Cortana integrates better with Windows 10, we might actually use it, period.
Yeah. Well, I will say I do think it's a step in the right direction. And I think at some point when that technology gets more finalized, it will be better. So I will say it ends on a positive. John Hanke, the CEO of Niantic Labs, expressed his dismay at Pokemon Go tracking websites which intercept gaming information to show you where Pokemon are on the map. The latest game update seems to have put another nail in the coffin for popular sites like PokeVision. Sam, is this the beginning of the Pokemon fanboy revolt?
Yeah, I actually absolutely think that it is. One of the things that was trending on the front page of the Pokemon Go Reddit was how to get your money back from in-app purchases. I will say, for one, I did that. I went through and did that. I mean, I think they shut down where the nearby steps are. They shut down these third-party websites. And let's not forget, some of the biggest successful games in the last couple of years, aka Destiny, largely ran on the fact that users could create custom things based on the game's API.
Yeah, no, I really do agree with you on that point. And that was exactly what I was thinking. Like, I think the more support you have for a system like this, where that helps people get more engaged in it and starts creating more narratives about how to play the game. Come on, like you don't want to like suppress that sort of thing. As a company, you would think that having more people get involved in certain additional ways than what the game originally is based off of would be a good thing. Like, why would you want to shut that sort of thing down?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the root of it, it's a tool that gets people out and playing your game.
Right.
Wandering around aimlessly in a city doesn't help anyone.
No, it doesn't. And plus, that doesn't really encourage people to want to play more. Like, if you were to have me, who has not played Pokemon Go, sign up for something like that, I would be more encouraged if it says, oh, these are some auxiliary things that will help you progress further and faster or whatever. Like, that seems like something that would be encouraging as opposed to, I don't know, like cheapening or like a cheat code for, which I'm sure that's what he's thinking, is that you're circumventing the system, you're getting around the heart of the game, but that's not what gaming is all about. Right. Gaming is about a means to an end.
Yeah, I think with that update rolling out today, and with all the issues coming out today, and all of the different news outlets finally picking up the coverage, I think by the middle of the week, we'll see John Hanke come out and be like, I'm sorry.
I was wrong.
I was wrong.
I made a big mistake.
Please come back.
Please come back. I love you guys so much.
What would you do with an extra $1,300 burning a hole in your pocket? Well, one lucky gamer turned to eBay and purchased a leaked copy of No Man's Sky. Damien took to Reddit to discuss his purchase as a gamer who enjoys the journey and likes the lack of Googleable answers. Paul, is this a first world problem or just a recipe for having second thoughts?
Oh my, I don't even know where to begin on this one. Like, I feel like this person is like a Saudi prince. $1,300 for any game for early release is excessive to begin with. But what's wrong with Googleable answers? Especially in a game like No Man's Sky it's built on the premise that there's like a billion different places to go. Google Answers isn't going to do that much to further that experience. $1,300 to get into an experience like that firsthand where there's almost limited potential? Like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, I think it's weird because you read the piece and you're like, man, this is a real big Zelda fanboy. And you're like, wait, he's not buying the Zelda game early. He's buying an infinitely generated algorithmic game.
What?
So what?
What was he hoping for?
Now, I think there might have been some backlash that kind of changed direction for him, because I think originally he came out and he was like, I'm going to start putting out information ahead of time, I'm going to make videos, people are going to watch it, which of course, YouTube wasn't going to have anything to do with it. Even Daily Motion wasn't really having much to do with it. So I think he might have ended up saying, all right, well, I'm going to take a 180. I won't spoil anything, guys. I'll let you guys figure it out. And I think this is really just part of this narrative. But I think he was trying to jump the gun on some content, and then he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, I could see where he was trying to make like an early real estate investment, possibly, but he had to have realized that at no point was he ever going to be able to come up with something that would buy back that $1,300 worth of content that he potentially would have had. Like, there's absolutely no chance, especially since it was just leaked early. Like, there's no conceivable way where that was something that could have been a money-making scheme that would have had a future to it.
Look,
it's not like Utopia.
He said he's pretty well off, right?
Yeah.
He said he's able to afford this. So you know what we should do? We should reach out to him. We should get him to give us $1,300.
Yes.
We'll make a video all about how much we love him.
We can show you how to make money off of early access here at Nerdy Nights. Please spend your money more wisely in the future.
Here.
Unless you're Don Neverdie, in which case you're a brilliant man. It's time for a break where we have to pay the bills and see if we have any Pokeballs left.
And when we come back, will Microsoft spell the end of PC gaming? Maybe it's a good thing you forgot to upgrade to Windows 10 when you still had the chance. Stay tuned, you're watching the Nerdy News Roundup. This week's sponsor we wish we had is Cool Mini or Not. Are you prepared for the zombie apocalypse? Do you have what it takes to fight on the front lines of World War I with your fellow Frenchmen? Well, Zombicide and The Grizzled are just some of the board games we love playing from Cool Mini or Not. So if you know anyone at Cool Mini or Not, tell them we sent you and beg them to give us some money. Or some free games. And for our main story tonight, Tim Sweeney is back in the news and Microsoft is still his target. The highly controversial Universal Windows platform is at the root of his scorn, and Sweeney predicts that they will eventually phase out support for Win32 apps and force everything through the Windows Store, essentially creating a closed platform. Sweeney further suggests that Microsoft will pull a series of sneaky maneuvers that will make your Steam library virtually inoperable. The Epic CEO's prediction is as follows. Slowly, over the next 5 years, they will force patch Windows 10 to make Steam progressively worse and more broken. They'll never completely break it, but will continue to break it until, in 5 years, people are so fed up that Steam is buggy and that the Windows Store seems like an ideal alternative. Paul, is it time for Tim Sweeney to put on the tinfoil hat, or is he just raising the warning flag a little early?
I absolutely think it's a tinfoil hat situation, but I don't think he's entirely wrong. I think Microsoft understands that the PC market is going to be much more relevant in the next coming years. So they are going to do more to push their product. Are they going to intentionally sabotage Steam? I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
Right, and I think you and I talked about this in the past. When we look at how the UWP is shaping out in the grand scheme of things, Microsoft is taking a developer-first approach in trying to get them on board. They're saying, look, we're bringing a huge marketplace to you. We're going to make it worth your while to develop on this platform. It's not just a like, hey, here's some money. Don't go on Steam. Here's some money. Don't go. Nothing's on our table. Everything's above board, and it's literally all about giving you a bigger market share, even though the side effect is edging out Steam.
Right. Well, you know, they're entering the marketplace. That's the whole thing about being in the PC marketing place, or any marketing place for that. Like, you can't just have two or one giant and then have someone come up as a competitor and expect that space to just diminish overall. There's only so much room. And, I mean, they're just trying to enter the marketplace as best they can.
So, as a Paragon player, how much of this do you think is just Epic saying, you know what, we really don't want to give 20 cents to Microsoft or 30 cents to Microsoft. We want all the in-app purchase money in our pocket.
Well, I mean, Paragon is based a lot on microtransactions, a lot of the skins and things like that. Nothing that's play to win. So do they want to see money going towards someone else other than what they already have initially? Probably not. Is it necessarily the means for the whole doom and gloom thing where Microsoft is just trying to rob them of their whole marketplace? I mean, it's hard to say, but I doubt it highly.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel for him because I do understand this idea of being reluctant to let Microsoft have another monopoly.
Yes.
You know, and we all know where that went the first couple of times. It didn't go well. But I think what's ending up happening is, what's the alternative? He's going to developers and saying, you know what? Hey, you guys should stop making money.
Yeah,
you know,
please.
This big market, just
please, your entire Fortune 500 company needs to stop making so much money because I feel like you're encroaching on my space. Really? Who would say such a thing? But you can see why he's thinking that way, though. It's anything that's encroaching upon his money is like, you know, you're coming out of his pocket. So is this conspiracy theory just the whole point for, wow, they already make so much money and now they're just going to be prejudiced, or not prejudiced, sharks. They're going to come after us even more just because they are who they are. It's like 1 point paranoia and it's 1 point, this is just business sense for him. This is the business world. It's dog eat dog. It's always going to be dog eat dog. Is he going to say like positive things about them when they're trying to take money from him, sort of? Or indirectly, if at worst? Sure, why not? Take shots at them because ultimately it's not going to hurt him in the long run to say those sorts of things. Will it necessarily stop Microsoft? No.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the biggest market that this might eventually hurt, and this is way in the long run, is gamers, right? Because the only thing that Microsoft has to hold true to that Steam doesn't have to hold true is like Target and Walmart and the retailers.
Right.
Where Steam is just like, well, screw that. Sell my gift cards. Sell my gift cards, and I'll give you a little bit of money. But that's about it. Whereas I think if you really want to make a retail push again, you need to have the physical experience. And if Windows Store is forcing people to go into that infrastructure and then they say, you know what, we're not going to have like Steam summer sales or anything like that, then I could see the user losing out.
Right. Well, but again, to that point, I don't see why they wouldn't offer things like Steam summer sales after games have been out for quite some time. Like, honestly, mirroring Steam would probably be the best thing for Microsoft to do in the future. Steam has done incredibly well. They're a publishing company, they're developers, everything.
Yeah.
It's one-stop shopping. Why wouldn't anyone try to like mirror that experience?
Well, I think that's the biggest argument for it, is to say, like, if we have the gorilla or the elephant coming in and saying, you know what, hey, look, Target, we're going to discount, and we're not going to be in parity with your store price, suck it up. If they control that much of the market, they might be able to do that.
It's true. But again, there's no reason for them not to attempt to do that sort of thing. I mean, they're not even, I mean, this is all very much hypothetical in the first place. And it's really going to be time will tell, like, how far they push that envelope. and where they go with their market recourse. It's very obvious that Microsoft is interested in the PC market. It seems like, well, even with their latest sales for Xbox One, they're still saying, you know what, you can play this on your PC. Although if you've played PC games on Microsoft, you know that experience, maybe not the best. And even the Xbox marketplace for PC, I've heard a lot of PC gamers say it's not really the best yet.
Yep.
But so, only time will tell. But I do think the fear-mongering, if that's what you really want to call this, I think it might be a little over the top.
Yep. Tim Sweeney, I've got a lot of aluminum foil for you. We can make a hat.
But you're still welcome here at Nerdy Nights if you'd like to sponsor us.
Absolutely. Do you think the PC master race is about to be enslaved by Microsoft? Let us know if you think Tim Sweeney is crazy in the comments below. Can't get enough of nerd culture? Then check out all the great content we have on the Nerdy Nights YouTube channel. Join me and Eric on the Couch Co-op Confidential as we stream couch co-op games. Currently, we're making our way through the Gears of War series in preparation for Gears 4. Mike and I have just picked up the Stick of Truth and are saving South Park from the Drow Elves. Check out Let's Play Podcast for a whole new way to Let's Play. And don't forget to check out Board Nights, where we try to play board games, usually unsuccessfully. Click the links below for all this great content and more.
And now for everyone's favorite segment of the week, we turn to our lightning round, where we answer the age-old question, does this matter? No subculture is complete without its own dating service, and now Pokemon Go players are legit. Pokedates matches users and coordinates at Pokestops to meet up at. Sam, is Pidgey Candy the new aphrodisiac?
It absolutely is the new aphrodisiac. Pidgey Candy is great. It helps you level up. No, okay. So Pokedates is, I think, completely unimportant. Mainly because there's one thing that they're missing out of this recipe, which is the fact that basically every place you go that's big and you play Pokemon at, there's like thousands of people. Just go talk to them. Learn to talk to them. That $25 or however much it costs you to get on your first date, just buy lures with it. You'll make friends. You make friends. Doesn't matter.
See, I disagree. I think it's very significant. And the fact that people have already meeting people for Pokedates as it stands. And now there's a service that will actually help streamline that process. You can meet a new boo. Meeting up to get a Pikachu or whatever. I really feel like Pokemon Go, especially since it was designed for people who don't traditionally play video games in the first place, it's a way for them to engage in something and be active in addition to it. And there's legit potential there for people to use this app. Lord help me.
And Paul's username on Pokedates is...
Yo, God. Well, I will say this is one more reason why I'll probably not be using Pokemon Go anytime in the future. But I think it's significant. I think people will.
All right, so we agree to disagree. The Metal Gear Solid series may yet have some life to it. Amazon UK briefly listed Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive X with a release date of December 31st, 2016. Paul, the listing disappeared as quickly as it appeared, but does Konami have a trick up its sleeve?
I don't think Konami has any more tricks up its sleeve, except I do like your slot machines. We've gone over this before, Konami. I do believe in your company in that regard, but I don't think they're trying to really do, like, it's probably some kind of mistake or something like that Konami just accidentally posted this or something. Because they've already said they're really not that interested in putting out that much weight in the video games. Why would you get rid of Kojima, the video gaming god, if you were really that interested in video gaming further?
Right. I agree with you. This doesn't matter at all. I think the Definitive X will just be another cash grab. It'll put Ground Zeroes in it. They'll have the game. They'll have some DLC. Basically, they'll just bottle it all up and make it nice and pretty for you in a shiny box.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
That's about it.
Doesn't matter. It's just kind of like the final hurrah for video gaming for that company, if that's the case. So, more details this week about PSVR have been released through documentation brochures. The 10-foot by 6-foot required playing area has some apartment fans worried about getting their holodeck on. Sam, do PSVR players need to get roommates to move to a bigger house?
Well, PSVR gamers should get roommates so they're safe. But no, I think this is likely to be the same scare that we had when the Wii first came out, right? When the Wii was like, recommendation is this much playing area. And you're like, wait, I don't have 7 feet from my TV. And then you realize it just doesn't work optimally. You know, I think it'll work for the majority of what people are going to play. I think people are going to find over time they don't want to stand up and spin around. So, you know, I think it's par for the course. I don't think it matters in the context that I don't think it will affect sales. People aren't going to all of a sudden be like, you know what, I'm going to cancel that pre-order because I live in a small apartment.
Right.
I mean, think about it. It's a product designed by a company in Japan.
Yes.
Japan has small apartments, and they still think it'll work.
You mean in one of the most overcrowded cities in the world that they don't have like 60-foot by 60-foot apartment square space to play games like this? You're kidding, right? This is news. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I completely agree with you. It's recommended. I don't think it's a necessity to actually have PSVR in your house. And PSVR is going to sell out regardless.
Yep.
Like they could tell you need to have your own dinosaur roaming around your apartment. People are like, I'm still going to pre-order this. I'm a dinosaur. No chance of getting a dinosaur, but
I'll sell it on eBay.
This is something I'm looking for. Something I'm really interested in, regardless. No, it's not a big deal at all.
The Russian government might be getting into game development. While Pokemon Go hasn't released in Russia, members of parliament are already preparing for the possible harmful psychological side effects of the game. But fear not, a more patriotic version may soon be coming. Paul, will Vladimir Putin be catching Chechen separatists in borscht bowls along with his friend President Trump?
Oh God, that's just horrible. But yeah, I don't know what to make of this one, to be honest. I feel like I have to lean towards does it matter? Like just because like I don't know what the Russian government is up to. Like I mean they've been very secretive about most of the things they do, obviously, because it's the Russian government. But how is this going to affect the people? Are people in Russia planning on playing Pokemon Go because it's the American/Japanese thing to do, or?
Yeah, well, you know, I think I take a little bit of a different spin on it. I think, you know, it would be really fun to see a foreign government create propaganda games in the form of something like this.
Oh, you could be right.
I think it would be hilarious. I actually think it does matter. I'm really hoping they release it in the U.S. Because I might just take a trip to Moscow to play this game.
Oh.
It's going to be hilarious.
Well, yeah, I guess like it could be like a different version of like Papers, Please or something like that, where the boring, mundane portions of being involved in government would be interesting to some people, but I don't know. For me, doesn't matter yet. Wait and see, possibly good.
Right.
The most highly anticipated wrist accessory since the Apple Watch has been delayed. The Pokemon Go Plus accessory is now set to launch in September instead of July. Sam, will the savor of Pokemon Go come too late?
So I think the thing that they're missing with that is the fact that a lot of people who play Pokemon Go right now are not your traditional gamer market.
No.
I mean, I literally went into a Kohl's today to return something, and the woman saw me playing Pokemon Go. She's like, just so you know, there's a Pokestop over there, and there's a Pokestop over there, and just don't tell anyone. She's being really funny about it, right? She's like, I play as well. Those people aren't going to give a shit. Those people are likely to still be playing come September. It might be some of the diehards that are peeling off, but just like we talked about in PSVR, people are still going to buy it.
Right.
People are still going to buy it. I don't have problems believing that the game will survive unless John Hanke drives it into the ground.
Of course not.
So I don't think it matters. Everything will be fine.
I'm 110% sure that it does not matter. I tried to explain to people who aren't traditional gamers what exactly the Pokemon Go Plus accessory was. And they were like, say what now? and they're still playing. Like, the thing is going to sell out regardless because the people who are gamers are still lining up to buy said device. The people who aren't gamers don't know it exists, don't know what purpose it serves, don't care if it's going to be a month or two too late. It has nothing to do with their gaming experience. They're going to be playing one way or the other. The fact that they don't know that there's something that will make it like slightly easier for them to play, yeah, not a big deal.
Telltale wants you to play its games with your friends, all 2,000 of them. The newest title in the company's library, Batman, will have the ability for up to 2,000 players to get in on the decision-making. Paul, how many Christian Bale impressions of Batman does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Honestly, probably it's only going to take about one. I will say, I think hats off to Telltale Games. They do a really good job with their franchise. Tales from the Borderlands, obviously The Walking Dead, their Game of Thrones. Like everything they've done has been pretty on point. I don't see why this wouldn't follow suit. I think this matters because Telltale Games has a pretty good reputation for making the story-driven narrative game type, and yeah, it works.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a couple ways this is important. One, it's important for like when the family gets together for a party. if they like Batman or they like watching Game of Thrones, assuming it makes its way over to Game of Thrones eventually, they'll actually be able to just all play together as a family, all on the devices they already have.
Right.
And more than that, the other side of this is streamers, right? So now that we're seeing more low latency capability, either in YouTube Gaming or on Beam or a couple of other services, you'll be able to do live interaction with your favorite Twitch people who are playing a Telltale game.
Right. Well, and then I think that's, the overall selling point for it in the first place. It's like, even if you are not, like, let's just say we'll go back to the family situation where one person is playing and everyone else is there. Like, you can ask them, like, well, what do you guys want to do? And you can have discussions and interact with each other. Even if you're not playing physically with the controller, you can still, say, oh, I think we should try to do it this way. And this is why. And your friends or whatever may disagree with you. And you're starting a dialogue for something that may not necessarily be just completely game driven. So for a Batman series, I want to see Batman jump off this cliff to see if it actually works. I want to see Batman kick the Joker in the face for this situation, and see what happens.
I think this absolutely matters, and I think it only matter more if they do put their old library on it.
Yes.
Here's hoping.
Absolutely agree. 100% agree.
As the show comes to a close, it's time for the meme of the week. This week's meme comes to us from Kotaku and their Being Detective Pikachu Photoshop contest. My favorite entries include the animated classic starring Pikachu as the Great Electric Mouse Detective, or the newest show in the USA lineup, Pokemon. He's gotta catch 'em all. No, really. He's gotta catch 'em all. Pikachu joins the Avengers as he teams up with Iron Man to put a whole new spin on Thundershock. And no crime goes unsolved as Pikachu and Watson solve crimes from Baker Street as long as they remember to bring their Pokedex. If you have any ideas for next week's meme of the week, be sure to tweet us at nerdy_nights. And that's it for this week's Nerdy News Roundup. Don't let us go the way of nearby Pokemon footprints. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm Paul Mooney.
I'm Sam Chen.
Join us again next week because the last thing the world needed was another nerdy news show, but you still tuned in anyways.